8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello. Welcome to EM Publishing's monthly live stream. I'm Jess, but I'm not alone like I was last month rambling by myself because Morrus has also turned up this month.
I have. I'm here.
Thank you.
It is me. It is not an AI generated thing. It is actually the real me.
It really sounds like you are AI generated now because
I am AI generated.
Would say. Yeah, I have actually decided to run EM Publishing by myself. So I have made Russ
into an AI
generated just for the front, so I can just get on and do all the things I want to do. And it's much more efficient. It's been great.
I'm not sure how to take that, but
just take it as it is. But yeah, so we are here. We're going to be talking about all things EM Publishing. So you're not the only one. Sounds like something AI would say. So we are here for the next half hour, as we like, talking about all things EM Publishing, EM World, and of course Level Up Advanced 5th edition. Most excitingly, the main thing we're going to be talking. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat, and we'll answer live on His Majesty's internet. We're mostly going to be talking about this month the Kickstarter for To Save a Kingdom, which is live right now. So you can check that out on Kickstarter there and have a look at that. We'll talk about that in more detail. So if you have any questions about that campaign, if you're a backer or if you're looking at it and you're thinking, why should I back? Ask us questions about it and we'll tell you.
We'll try.
We will certainly try.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shall I just jump right in and talk about all the stuff we've got going on? We're quite small, so I'm going to make us larger. So first thing in the news we have is that we are having a sale on our D&D 5e books. So we've got mythological figures and Maleficent monsters, which is a big source book full of different NPCs and monsters, like Santa Claus is in there, the devil's in there, Achilles. So it's mythological and historical figures. Just loads of them, and that's for D&D 5e, and that's 50% off on our web store, which is on emppublishingrpg.com, covering Russ's face there, which is ideal. But yeah, so if you go on there, they're 50% off in there, as is the Masterclass Codex, which again is for D&D 5e, and it's 16 new character classes. And there's loads of cool stuff in there. There's like the Gemini ones I like. There's just
Cardcaster. It's fun. I like the Cardcaster.
Yeah. I think we've sold out of that one in North America, but there's still some left in the UK and Europe. Yeah. But go on the website, have a look there. They're 50% off. So going on there. And if you're like, I do not like emppublishingrpg.com website, if that's how you feel, then I'm sorry to hear that.
Who would feel? Who would feel like that?
Some people might. If so, I did the wrong segue. Let's try. If so, soon you will be able to buy our books through Amazon. That was the wrong segue.
We're so professional. Slick. I think
we're slick and efficient. EM Publishing. We're just like Hasbro. And someone has said, be careful not to confuse Satan and Santa.
No, it's even better if you do confuse them. That just makes it more fun.
Exactly. But yeah. We're going to be bringing Level Up Advanced 5th edition to Amazon, which we've been looking to do for a while. So that'll be in the UK, America, and Canada to start with, and then we'll be looking to launch that out into the rest of Europe. So if you want to check that out on there, that should be launching kind of next month. So we'll have all those products there. So we're hoping that will bring some other people to Level Up as well. So feel free to evangelize there if people want to use Amazon. Yeah, because they can do cheaper shipping rates than us.
Yeah, and quicker shipping as well, I imagine.
Well, our shipping is pretty quick. But yeah, we don't do same-day shipping, in fairness, that Amazon do. But anyway, that will be an option for you there, because I know that's something some people have been looking for in terms of shipping rates. And I don't think we can ever compete with Amazon for shipping rates. I just don't think we'll have the same scale to get the discount.
Amazon?
Yeah. I don't think
we won't have the same scale as one of the largest, richest companies in the world. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm really confident about that.
Oh, okay.
And that's my advice to you as a have a look there. And another new thing, so the Dungeon Delver's Guide will be coming to retail next month. So we did the Kickstarter, which ended in October last year. We finished fulfillment early, so people got their books in March, a lot of people, instead of April. So we finished fulfillment. So all the backers have their books and have had them for a little while. So
we're going to put them on.
Exactly. We're going to put them on our web store next month. So if you look on empublishingrpg.com next month, that should go up on there. And shortly after, we'll probably be getting that to go on Amazon. Or if you'd like to get it from your friendly local gaming store, they can contact us directly and we can send it out to them so they can have it and you can pick it up from there as well. That's going on there. We've had a quick question about Free RPG Day. So will there be support for EM Publishing during Free RPG Day in the USA? We haven't got anything arranged for this year. The short answer is no, because that's coming up in, is it June and July?
I'm not sure.
I think it's June or July in the US. But so we've missed the window for this year to kind of put stuff in for it. But that might be something we look at to do in the future, but unfortunately not this year. But if you would like a free look at the introduction of To Save a Kingdom, we have that for you. So that's a free RPG. Does that count? No.
Ish.
Sorry. But no,
June 24th, they said in the chat there. Look, June 24th is Free RPG Day.
June 24th.
Two days before my birthday.
There we go. Well, yeah,
because it changed. That's what happened. They changed the date, didn't they? Because it was moving away from something that Hasbro or Wizards was doing, some Magic the Gathering thing, and they
were doing a Magic the Gathering launch event, and it moved. So I was like, it's June or July. So we missed the window to give something for that. So we haven't got anything officially to do with that part of the event, but getting involved, that would probably be something quite good to do in the future.
Yeah. And I think it's a different day over here as well, isn't it?
In the UK, it's a different day.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing. But the Dungeon Lovers Guide will be going to retail next month, and as always, if you order from our web store, you will get a free PDF when you purchase the book from us. So that'll be coming up next month. And the Amazon storefront I've already mentioned. So that's kind of stuff generally going on. So let's dig in to talk about To Save a Kingdom a bit more. So it is live on the Kickstarter. Russ, what is To Save a Kingdom?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Jess. It's a really good question.
It's like we planned this.
No. We don't plan anything. We're not that organized. So To Save a Kingdom is an adventure path. It is designed for a Level Up Advanced 5e and for D&D 5e, so you can play it with either system. And it consists of 3 adventures. The first one is called To Slay a Dragon, and in that adventure you slay a dragon. The second one is called To Stake a Vampire, and in that one you stake a vampire. And the third one is called To Smite a Fiend, and I'm going to leave it to you to guess what you do in that one.
You farm hamsters.
Yes, that is exactly what you do. You farm hamsters.
Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley, so it's kind of imprinted on my brain.
So it's those 3. It's those 3 adventures. They take you from levels 3 all the way up to level 13, and it also is set in the world of Elisar, and there is an introduction and overview of the world of Elisar, as well as some like player options to ground you in that world, like a new culture and some new feats and that sort of thing.
Excellent. So this is like good job. So this follows on from Memories of Holdenshire, which is our book that we have that's available now. You can get it retail on our web store as an add-on in this campaign as well, actually, and that takes you from levels 1 to 3. And Memories of Holdenshire is designed to kind of introduce you to Level Up Advanced 5th edition. So if you're used to 5e, it kind of slowly takes you through and shows you the differences, and is a starter adventure. So you don't have to have played this. Your players and the characters in this campaign don't have to have, but it's set in that world and that experience, so you can carry on.
So a fun thing about Memories of Holdenshire is you don't need the Level Up books to play it. You just need the D&D 5e books, and it contains the new rules you need, and only when you need them as well. So it's not like there's a rule book and an adventure. It's like as you get to it, there'll be a sidebar saying, okay, new rule, this is what you do here, that sort of thing, as you go through the adventure. So by the time you finish Memories of Holdenshire, you'll be like level 3, and you'll be kind of familiar with Level Up at that point without ever having touched a Level Up book, which is quite clever, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. So we have that available. So it leads on from this. Memories of Holdenshire. We've just had a question about virtual tabletop support and things like that. So Memories of Holdenshire is on Foundry. It's on loads of places. Have Memories of Holdenshire, isn't it?
I don't know if Fantasy Grounds has it. So the way it works is all three different of the main. We support 3 virtual tabletops. There are many virtual tabletops. We support 3 of them at the moment. Because each one's quite an undertaking. So we do Roll20, we do Fantasy Grounds, and we do Foundry. But our arrangement with each of them is different. So on Fantasy Grounds, for example, they have a license and they produce in-house any level up material they want to. So we're not directly involved with that. We've just given them permission. They can do that, and it's up to them what they produce.
So they have permission to make Save Kingdom on that platform.
Should they wish to, yes.
Should they wish to, but we don't make it or do that on the system for them.
So. And like Foundry is generally a community thing. So we provided the sort of core Level Up rule set thing right at the start, and then the community has expanded on that greatly ever since. And we've got, so far, Memories of Holdenshire is on there, I believe.
On Foundry?
I think it is.
Yes, it is.
It is, yeah.
I'll put all the links in the chat for this. Level Up 5e as a resources page. If you scroll down, there's a virtual tabletop section with all the links Russ has mentioned.
So, and Roll20, we've got like the Level Up character sheet and stuff like that. I couldn't tell you offhand. Is that on there as well? I could tell you offhand.
It's on Roll20 as well.
Yeah, cool.
So, as of right now, To Save a Kingdom is not on those platforms, but
it's not even in a book yet. On those platforms.
The book doesn't exist. Yes.
No.
So, well, because we're doing the Kickstarter right now to print it.
So we're not doing that as part of the Kickstarter, and the reason we do that is we don't put stretch goals in Kickstarters because it's a whole logistics thing. But basically, Kickstarter has its rules about fulfillment and things, and we like to make sure our Kickstarters are completely fulfilled, and we don't have loads of stuff that's going to take us like another year to do. So we do support virtual tabletops, but not necessarily as part of the actual Kickstarter. It would come later.
Yeah, so the plan would be something we'd be looking to do afterwards as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and all the information I put in the links is on levelup5e.com/resources, and when we put new stuff on those virtual tabletops, we'll have that links on there. And there's also I know there's a Discord for one of them as well. That I found,
there's a Foundry Discord.
There's a Foundry Discord as well for Level Up stuff on there that you can check things out on there as well. But yeah, so we're talking about the logistics fulfillment for Level Up or Save a Kingdom. The plan is we're going to give you the PDFs the instant the Kickstarter ends, which is on the 4th of May, I believe. Yep, it's on the 4th of May. So literally Russ and I sit at our computers waiting for it to go to 0, and then we send you the PDF link so you can get the PDF. So you will be able to run this adventure next month from PDFs if you want to. And the books...
In 2 weeks, basically. 2 weeks today.
Yeah, 2 weeks today you would have the PDF, so you'd have everything you need to kind of run the adventure for it. And physical books, I'm speaking to the printers right now, so we're sorting out... Uma, our new art director, is doing the back and forth about this line needs to be removed here, this printing color needs to be this, because I don't want to do that, the fun stuff. So right now we're speaking to the printers, ready to place our orders. So when the Kickstarter ends, we're then going to open the backer kit, so people can choose to do add-ons and stuff like that. Or if you just, gosh darn it, missed the Kickstarter and you want to go buy a backer kit, we'll have that open. And then when we close that, we'll place the order with the printers, and we should have that fulfilled and with you by September at the latest. But we do quite quick turnarounds on these. So for example, Dungeon Delver's Guide ended in October. We had everyone's books with them in March. So that's the sort of turnaround that we're doing. And we're doing the same system for Save a Kingdom. So yeah, we'll be with you by September for the physical book. But yeah, so and people have said that they've been amped about it since using the Monster Menagerie. Yes, so the Monstrous Menagerie and all the other core Level Up books are available as add-ons in this Kickstarter. So we've got some bundles which have all the stuff in, and they're at a discounted rate to buying it separately if you would buy it separately anywhere else. And we also have our collector's versions, which are very pretty.
Which we're running out of now, so get them while you can.
Yes, so we've got a limited number of bundles on there. We're doing new collector's editions for To Save a Kingdom that are the same style, but for each of the collector's editions, we only do one print run of them.
Yeah,
and for
so
now,
once they're gone, they are gone.
Yeah, so if you want the Adventurer's Guide to try, Monstrous Menagerie Collector's Edition, get them at the Kickstarter.
Mm.
But yeah, but if you don't want to get the collector's edition, you can just get the PDF versions or the book versions. It's up to you. All available on there. But yeah, so that's kind of the Kickstarter logistics side of it, which I do. But let's talk about what's actually in the book, the bit that people care about, because I care about the logistics and fulfillment because I do it all. But everyone else is like, "That's great, we'll get our books, Jess. We hear you." What's actually going on in the books?
There's a dragon. There's a dragon in the
book.
There's
a dragon.
You can see it right there. There's a dragon in the book.
So to slay a dragon, we're gonna go kill a dragon at some point, and this takes you through 3rd to 7th level. What can you tell us more about to slay a dragon? Because it was originally how
spoilery. That's how spoilery to want to go. Okay, let's try not to be too spoilery. I mean, everyone. It's obviously it ends with you slaying a dragon, so I guess that's about as spoiled as you can get.
Yeah, well, maybe that. But this has been done in 5th edition and Pathfinder before. So could you talk? I don't know if you talk a little bit about the history of To Slay a Dragon.
It was Pathfinder first, I believe, and I did a Kickstarter for To Slay a Dragon on its own, like, oh god, I don't know when, a number of years ago. Yeah, 15 million years ago or something. Anyway, I did that, and To Slay a Dragon for Pathfinder was brought out on its own. There was no intention to do sequels at the time. And then Mike Myler wrote the sequel, which was To Stake a Vampire. Then they got updated to 5th edition via Insider magazine and were published serially in there. And then the current version, which is the Level Up version, is again updated, but it's massively expanded as well. So there's tons of stuff in there now that wasn't in the 5th edition or the Pathfinder versions, because there's a whole lot of stuff you can do in Level Up. It was like, well, we've got these adventures, we've got this system with like exploration challenges and journey rules, and we've got this great world now, LSR and things. So yeah, so it's much bigger. There's lots more stuff in there, lots more. So
talking through To Slay a Dragon as well. So obviously we're going to be able to go in. We're gonna go into detail about killing a dragon and stuff like that. But what can you tell us spoiler free about it? I've got some images of the maps, the interior of the mountain, things like that. But
so you start off in the town of Holdenshire, which is where Memories of Holdenshire ends, and you it's quite sandboxy, and you undertake a number of quests, small quests in Holdenshire, and this kind of grounds the PCs in the village, and they get to know like the village, and they get to know the NPCs and who runs the shop and who runs the tavern and who the sheriff is and all this sort of stuff, and basically gives you a good sort of solid link to the village, because when things start happening in the village and to the people in the village, then you care about it later in this adventure and later adventures. You see, it matters. So you do a bunch of quests in the village, you ground yourself in that village, and then something happens which makes you have to go and kill a dragon. A thing happens, and so you'd undertake, like the Hobbit and the dwarves and Gandalf, you undertake a long journey across the land towards the mountain in which the dragon lives, in order to slay it, and you do quests on the way, gather artifacts which help you fight the dragon, because it's not a CR appropriate encounter. Say that for a start. You need these artifacts to fight that dragon. I mean, you can go and fight it. It's sandboxy. You can go and fight it without them, and die. So don't do that. But there's these artifacts you can get that will help you fight the dragon. So by the time you get there, you should be about 7th level and have the artifacts, which should give you a fighting chance to actually defeat the dragon.
It's really nice that at 7th level you can go kill a really epic dragon as well, so you can do something really big. But yeah.
But without those artifacts, you would not be able to do that.
Fair. So that'll take you through to 7th level, and then we go on to Stake a Vampire, which is 7th to 10th level.
So in this one, there is an ancient primordial of a vampire, pictured thusly, who has been brought back to the world, and the sort of shadow is falling across the world, and things are getting dark, and all the villagers are getting glum, and some of them are vampires, but you don't know that yet, but some of them are now vampires or vampire spawn. And these might be people you already knew from the first adventure as well. See, that's why you get grounded in the first adventure, because then you care when these things happen to them. And you end up having to, again, hunt down the tombs of a group of vampire hunting adventurers from decades past, generations past, and collect their artifacts, which enable you to confront the vampire,
big bad,
the vampire lord himself. Yeah, so that's that one.
And in the picture on the right, could we talk about this monster there? Because it says vampiric dire bear. Please discuss more.
Bear. I mean, what else do you need to know? It's a vampiric dire bear. That's, I mean, sold, surely.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm sold. I just didn't know if there's anything fun you could tell us about that, or just is just the fact that it's a vampiric dire bear.
It's just a vampiric dire bear, and it's awesome, and I love the art for it too. I love the art for that.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, so that's having that. So someone's just said they were surprised that we chose to put the dragon as the low-level portion of the adventure, since we can have dragons at different CRs, and was wondering about that decision. Or is it just because it's the classic?
Well, because originally, the honest answer is, originally it was just going to be that adventure. That was all I was writing at the time, and I wanted to do a sort of tribute to the Hobbit-ish. It's not really the same as the Hobbit, but it's kind of like a journey from a village to a mountain to kill a dragon, but the bits in between are different. But yeah, so basically that's all it was supposed to be at first. So that's really it wasn't a grand plan.
Yeah. I think depending on your party as well, it does have that Hobbit feel of these are people that really, rightly shouldn't be going to go fight a dragon.
Yeah.
But I mean that depends on your party. We have actually on this, wherever you're watching this, in 3 hours time at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have the actual play for To Save a Kingdom, which is being run. And I'd say that is rightly a group of people that should not be going to fight a dragon. It's quite a chaotic group. So if you'd like to see how it plays out, if you'd like to see an actual play of it being played, and they're doing currently to Slay a Dragon, the early part of that adventure, you can watch that actual play, and that's on in 3 hours time. 3 hours, yeah, in about 3.5 hours time, 7 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, so that's kind of why that was chosen. But there we go. So then after we've had Slay a Dragon, Stake a Vampire, we go on to Smite a Fiend. And so, my understanding correct, there's like a magic user in the area that's been doing nefarious things, and the power's all got a bit.
I mean, that's definitely a spoiler. I mean, the magic user is there's a wizard who lives in a tower near Holdenshire, and is just a bit mysterious and reclusive, and you're aware of him in the first adventure and the second adventure. It's not until the third adventure that he starts saying, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try summoning stuff. And he does. And it gets a little bit out of control. And it gets a bit out of control. And there are fiends that you have to slay.
Smite.
Smite, sorry. Yes, you slay the dragon, you stake the vampire, you smite the fiends.
Yeah, you smite fiends. Yeah.
And eventually then you have to go into his tower, which has been fortified with magical wards, and work your way through each level of the tower, which has different sort of magical protections, in order to reach the conclusion of the adventure. I'm trying to say all this without being too spoilery.
Yeah, I'm giving, but I think a lot of people that are going to purchase this are going to be the GMs that are going to run it.
Yeah.
I think like most people looking to buy Adventure Pass are like, I'm going to run this. So you kind of want to know. Yes. So we've had the Smite Fiend is levels 10 to 13th. So it will. So we had a question about does it end at level 13? So it's designed for people at level 13. So to smite a fiend is so it's split into kind of 3 sections, and it's kind of advised that you would do it as the first part. So they go up to 11 and things like that. So this will take you through to 13th level for that. Is what it's designed to do, but. As with any kind of game, you can always, as the GM, tweak things to make things more or less, if it makes sense for your group. But it was designed to be for level 13, so it'll take you up to there.
One of the things about these is, I mean, they are all 3 adventures are quite sandboxy. So the amount of stuff that the players will interact with is kind of up to them and the narrator. You know, it will vary from group to group. I mean, you could literally into Slay a Dragon just leave and just go straight to the dragon and have a go.
That's what they did in the actual play episode 1. They immediately died and have gone back to the village now.
Yeah. So yeah, you could do that. Or you could engage in the many sandbox style quests and gain levels and the equipment you need before reaching that stage.
Yes.
And that's kind of how it works in all three of them. They're kind of sandboxy, and it's kind of up to you how much you want to do.
For sure. We do have, like, on the Level Up site, on the news section, we've got like previews, and there's like a link to download the first few pages and covering the introduction there. So I've put that link in the chat there on levelup5e.com. So if you do want to read the full overview in detail and get the introduction, download that, take a look. That's all there for free for you to take a look at.
So that intro is like a very quick summary of the three adventures and an overview of LSR. Is got that in, just before the player options start, basically. So it's about 10 pages ish. I'm not sure offhand.
Yeah, I think it is 10 pages, but but it's the first little bit to give you a snippet and a feel for it. And as we mentioned before, vampiric dire bears, if you want to inflict them on your party, it is there and available for you, depending on their comfort and trauma levels.
Ruin your day.
Huh?
Ruin your day.
I mean, it doesn't sound friendly. I mean, I think it's one of those situations where you want to kind of run, but there we go. And someone was just clarifying, Holdenshire is the county, Hainsbury is the village.
Did I misspeak myself? I do apologize.
I don't know if it was in the chat or
the locations in this are kind of like based on real world locations. So Hainsbury, I mean, you come from Bournemouth, you know what
I know Hainsbury. I used to walk my dog there a lot.
Thornbury, the other village, is where my dad lives up in
don't tell everyone.
So some of the places are kind of like basically related to my personal life. So.
If you also want more context of the setting, there's a website, worldoflsr.com, which I put the links in to, which has the links to the adventures. It's got the maps and the art. So if you click on maps, that does it really nicely. So it shows you LSR as in the world, then it's in the country of Endora, in the county of Holdenshire, in the town of Hainsbury.
Zooms in,
and then you can also zoom into a mountain as well. So if you want to get really in depth, so the maps on there kind of zoom in, so you can take a look and have a look at them there. But yeah, so that's Memories of Holdenshire, really. I don't know.
Save a Kingdom. Yeah.
What to save it? Yeah, that's to save a kingdom. Memories of Holdenshire is already out, but. On the Kickstarter, if you've not played Memories of Holdenshire either, because it does kind of adventure on, if you do want to go from level 1 to level 13 and teach your group how to play Level Up Advanced 5th Edition and yourself as the GM, you can get them as a bundle. So we've bundled them together, so you can just get both of them. So so if you're interested, we'd love it if you'd go and have a look. Is any of the art inspired by real world places?
It's not.
for us?
It's not. It's just. It is not. It's just.
It is just the names. Fantastic. Good to know. And people have, no, they haven't. I'm going to mention it though. So as we said before, if you're wanting to have a look and if you like learning via watching actual plays, we have an actual play running right now every Thursday, wherever you're watching this, 7 p.m. Eastern, which is midnight in the UK. We have a motley crew playing through Save a Kingdom, and it's a chaotic group of people, so maybe it'll remind you of your table. So that'll be happening after this show in 3.5 hours time, wherever you're watching this. You can watch that live and interact. And also on Friday tomorrow, if you watched our previous official actual play, which was the Starcross Seaway, which had Gabby So Gabby and Mr. Kurtwise, they are doing a Level Up one shot, which is called Help, the Sun is a Mimic. So you can imagine the vibes of that campaign. Yes. So that is on Mr. Kurtwise's channel, and also be streaming on EM Publishing's Twitch channel as well. So if tonight or tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern you want to watch, you can do that. We also have a question about how we pronounce the dragon's name, and I've been saying Searoth.
Correct.
10 points to me.
That is correct.
So there you go, Searoth. Correct. The Sun is a Mimic is the Friday's Level Up one-shot adventure.
The Sun is a Mimic,
which you can watch. But yes, so that'll be happening there. And that's, I don't know if you have any other questions about the the To Save a Kingdom, let us know. I keep saying the same members of Holden Chat. To Save a Kingdom, you know, let us know. I've got to put the link in the chat there for you to go take a look at it. But if you haven't been pronouncing it Searoth for your group, it's your game, and when role-playing games are owned by the table, so if you take it and it's going to be your world, you pronounce it however you want, because once it hits your table and you're the GM, it's your world. So if it's Kirotha, say it that way confidently. They're not going to challenge you. What are they going to do? Get another GM? No. GM's a difficult find.
No, I will come round and confiscate your book if you pronounce the dragon's name wrong.
Yeah, and also
I think I won't know.
I think some of the names as well I feel quite British, like Hainsbury.
Yeah.
As well, because I
tend to write, you know, about what I know. That's just my style. So, you know, it has like Enisar has a sort of Tolkien-y, I don't want to say it's like Middle Earth, but it's kind of like Tolkien-esque as opposed to Forgotten Realms-esque.
Yeah.
In kind of feel and things. So, you know, it's just
so if there are places called like Worcestershire. Okay, great. So our American audience will love that. So you mentioned that a lot of the adventures are very sandboxy. And this person has asked, are there a lot of open-end plot hooks for narrators to build on outside of the main plot? So is there stuff for people to kind of on their own stuff?
Kind of. So basically, there's a lot of quests that you can do, or you could leave till later and come back to after the adventure is finished, I guess. But there's a lot of quests that you can do, and you could expand on those things yourself if you wish to, and make adventures out of those sort of concepts and those things. So yes, ish is the answer to that. Ish.
I think that's almost any adventure, though, isn't it? Like you know, you just, because I think sometimes your party just gets really interested in one particular thing, and you're like, I guess that's where we're going. One thing I really liked about To Save a Kingdom is that so I'm like baby GM, I'm learning how to GM, and the way the adventures are laid out is really. There's a whole load of stuff going on, and you can just lay it out for your party, and wherever they choose to go, there'll be something there, and the book's laid out in a way that you can go, oh, they're over here, it's this, we're doing this then. And if they don't touch other stuff, it's not like a huge issue, it's not going to derail it, so it doesn't feel railroady, and so it doesn't make you panic if you're a baby GM like me going, how am I going to get them to go to this place, because if they don't, everything's going to go wrong. It doesn't have that vibe. It's just like, you are here, things are happening, are you going to do anything? Which is really nice. Someone's asked, when will the supplement to Save a Kingdom with all the changes to the live stream officially be out? I don't think we're making an official version of the actual playbook. That would be quite chaotic. But maybe if you speak to Lexi, the GM, and see if they would like to produce their own supplement for it using Level Up A5E open license, they'd be more than welcome to do that.
Yes.
So I think that was a bit of a joke as someone that watches it.
So but, do we have any more questions about To Save a Kingdom? Or
we do. Someone's asked about getting a signed copy.
I guess you'd have to bring a book to us at a convention. It's the only way I can think of that would work.
So
if you're in the USA, possibly a little more difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, you're welcome to come to conventions here in the UK, and we will happily sign them. But more difficult.
Yes. When you say we, I probably wouldn't sign it because I didn't do any of the writing. I will ship it to you. I will make sure it reaches you. That's the bit I'll do, but I don't think you want my signature for that. So in terms of conventions, if you do want any books signed or anything like that, or you'd like to purchase them at conventions, we are going to the UK Games Expo in the UK, in Birmingham, UK in the summer in June, and we're also going to Dragon Meet in London in December, in the first weekend of December. So if you do want any books signed by Russ will be there. I will also be there.
I mean, Jess will sign it if you really want her to.
Yeah, I didn't do any of the writing or anything. Or any TTRPG book that I have.
What'll be funny is just everybody just wants you to sign it and not me or Mike.
Yeah, that's definitely what would happen.
Yeah.
But Mike Myler is in the US. I don't know if he's going to any conventions this year, but I'm sure he'd be happy to if you were there as well. So someone's asked, will the book be able to purchase any physical form after the Kickstarter? Or the Kickstarter anyway. So to Save a Kingdom, the collector's edition, all collector's editions of our books, including the collector's edition of To Save a Kingdom, is only ever going to be available via Kickstarter or in person at conventions. That's
I think
the
he's talking
only
about
place.
the collectors there, though.
I know, but I'm just giving a full answer,
sorry.
Russ.
I'm sorry.
Gosh, let me do my thing. So the collector's edition will be only then. The physical copies of To Save a Kingdom will be available at retail, but that will be after the Kickstarter fulfillment. So that will likely be so that's we usually do it like 2 or 3 months after we fulfilled the Kickstarter.
Yeah, that'll be like end of the year.
Yeah, so we're able to make this business work and do the print runs and everything like that because of the Kickstarter. So we want to make sure our backers get them first and they have the first stuff for it.
Absolutely. Always, backers always get their stuff first before we put anything anywhere. If the backers haven't got it, nobody else can get it.
Yes, so that's what we kind of always do. And so maybe we'll be able to get it to retail in December, depending on how the fulfillment goes. But I don't want to guarantee Christmas because of if the Kickstarter gets delayed, we'll want the backers to have them first. So if you do want it quickly, backers will get them first. But yeah, they'll definitely be available via retail for the standard version of To Save a Kingdom. Definitely in January 2024, if not before. So it'll also be on backer kit after the Kickstarter. So if you're like waiting for a payday or something and the Kickstarter ends May the 4th and that's not good for your schedule, we are going to open the backer kit 2 weeks later so people can upgrade their pledge. So if you're not sure about that, you can just pledge like £1 on Kickstarter now and later go into the pledge manager and upgrade if that suits you better. And yes, we are, as we mentioned. Oh, hang on. It doesn't work. Yes. And we are opening an Amazon store as well next week. So To Save a Kingdom won't go on there next week, obviously. But eventually, so kind of 2024, it will be available on there. But all the other books will be available on that route as well on there. And yes, and as people have said, if you're using To Save a Kingdom and you've also got the Monstrous Menagerie and Dungeon Delver's Guide, they've got wonderful ideas and hook opportunities to build on. So if you are looking to do things like that, these 2 books will be great for that. And as we mentioned, the Dungeon Delver's Guide is going to retail next month. So if you don't have a copy, you should get one. Someone's asked, can you sign my shipping box? We actually don't live in the warehouse. And this will surprise some backers. But we have...
I do. I live in a cardboard box in the warehouse.
That's true. We actually have like
our own
2 warehouses, one in the UK. I don't own my property. I'm not too young for that. Anyway, so
yeah, we don't interact personally with any of that. We have a fulfillment partner a long way away from where we are. The only access we really have to the books themselves is when they send some to us. So we don't actually see the piles of books at the warehouse ourselves.
Yes, so no, we can't. No, so we can't sign your ship. Why do you want us to sign things anyway? Like, well, I say us, like anyone's talking to me.
No, just you. What I think is just you. From now on, only you, Jess, sign things.
Okay. If you would like something signed, you can send a stamped addressed envelope to our PO box with a return envelope in it, and we'll sign it and send it back to you. How about that? And then you can tape it into your book. How's that?
Or we could just put our signatures on a PDF and you can just download the PDF and just stick it in your
That's book. Quite dangerous because people could get you to sign many documents with that.
Oh yeah, that's probably a bad idea.
Definitely not a thing I've done.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the next thing.
Sorry, can we rewind for a second there? What was that?
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm your business manager. I've got your best interests at heart. Someone said, moving on to our next things for Level Up Advanced 5th edition. How's it going to work on the SF Level Up supplement? What's the SF Level Up supplement?
Science fiction Level Up
the
supplement.
Science fiction Voidrunner's Codex.
I'm guessing that is what that means. I'm guessing that
if
means
it's not clarifying in the chat, is it still on track for its planned Kickstarter? Do you want to answer this, Russ, or shall I?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's early next year, so it's on track to be on Kickstarter then. Is the plan.
Yes. So at the moment
it was originally going to be this year, but things got shuffled and we're trying to put out a couple of starter sets for things, and there was the whole OGL thing and we tried to get under that. So we're putting out some sort of like OGL open license boxed starter sets for What's Old Is New and for Level Up. This year we're doing that.
We've got a news article actually with our plan for the Level Up line of all the stuff and things going on, which I just put in the notes. But yeah, Void Runners Codex will probably be, I think February 2024 is kind of the rough plan at the moment. Because the Gate Pass Gazette annual, we did our first one in January, so the plan will be to do another one of those in January.
I mean, with the Void Runner, we want to put out a few more play tests as well. This year, sort of summerish, probably this year, more play tests of some of the stuff in them, just to get a bit more feedback on them, because we want to make sure that book is as good as it can possibly be. And the thing is, it's got some new systems in it. It's got a new psionic system and a new Starship Combat system, which means that sort of stuff, you know, like an archetype or like stuff that is already in the 5e rules structurally, it's a lot easier to do. But with something that's a totally brand new system, plug-in system, that's a lot harder to do, and that therefore requires an additional amount of playtesting beyond what you would do for an archetype. So, you know, we want to get like as many eyes on those and make it just as perfect and as good as possible. And I love the Starship Combat system.
Fantastic. We have had a question as well.
Have we got a lag or something? Yeah.
I think I've got a lag or you've got a lag, and I'm not sure which one of us it is.
One of us has a lag, yeah.
One of us has a lag. But we have a question on the screen that I've put on there. But what is our current personal best for how quickly we can send out PDFs to backers when the Kickstarter
Mine is under a second. It's under a second. I can't measure it more precisely than that, but it's definitely under a second. Literally, it was ready to go, and the thing counted down to 0, and I went click, and it was done.
I do less than a minute for the quick starters and things I do as well. So under a minute. So I think that's pretty quick. So
that's pretty damn quick.
That's pretty damn quick. Fantastic. So, To Save a Kingdom is live on Kickstarter. We told you some stuff and or things about it. You've had the chance to ask questions. I'm going to move on and talk about stuff. So I talked about our actual play we did that we have for that. But also, if you are doing an actual play for Level Up Advanced 5th Edition, we would like to support you in doing that. So applications are currently open at the moment. So if you would like to apply, we will sponsor you. So if you're looking to run a Level Up Advanced 5th Edition podcast, actual play, live stream thing, you can apply for that. And if it's going to be running from July to September 2023, you can go to the website to emworld.live/sponsorship. I'll put the link on there. And and if you go on there, you can apply between now and the end of May. And for people we sponsor, we kind of promote the stream on our site. We give you $400 to help you buy stuff and things you might need. I don't know, like microphones or Red Bull, I don't know. And I don't know, whatever you need, you choose. We give you the money, you do what you want with it. And we give you some sponsorship assets as well. And we don't need you to be a really big stream. We don't make the decisions based off the number of followers you have. For example, we've just we're going to be sponsoring somebody, going to announce it soon, and they're brand new and they've done like one episode, but the reason was because they were just so enthusiastic about Level Up A5E, and their passion really shone through, and they're brand new, so we wanted to support them. So don't worry if you haven't got a big following, anything like that. Apply. And we've got somebody in the chat here who has applied and had sponsorship previously, and you can apply again as well if you want as well. So so there's sponsorship for that. So check that out if you go to Level Up. If you go to emworld.live, you can check out the sponsorships there. I've already mentioned the actual plays we've got coming on the stream in 3 hours time after this show and on Friday. If you go to emworld.live, you can see all of our shows and podcasts on there, which, for example, every Monday I do Not D&D at 10 p.m. BST or 5 p.m. Eastern time. On Thursdays, we have the campaign I've mentioned. This week in Tabletop RPG, we had somebody that asked a question about that they haven't been able to find it. So it's been having some problems streaming that on Twitch, so you might not see it on there, but the podcast is going up. So the podcast is up there wherever you listen to podcasts. So on Spotify or whatever, it's coming out every week. Me talking very quickly for 3 minutes.
It's on YouTube as well, isn't it?
Yes, and on YouTube as well. So you can check that out on there. So you should be able to see that on there. But the podcast comes out every Friday like clockwork for that one there that I do. And then every Saturday, like clockwork, Morris's unofficial tabletop RPG talk featuring Russ, myself, and Peter Coffey. And the three of us waffle on for 2 hours about the RPG news. Sometimes
we try and
more.
pretend like we know something.
Exactly. But yeah, so we have all those shows there. So if you go to emworld.live, you can see all the links for all the different shows and podcasts and things that we do. And I think that's all the news and stuff and all things that we have for this month. Am I right in saying that?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Well, I think that's everything then. We're done. So thank you so much for coming along to listen. So we do a monthly live stream every month, or I do anyway, on the third Thursday of the month, same time, same place you are here. Again, if you go to emworld.live, you can see the calendar and check out those things there to see what's come hang out with us again. But yeah, if you have any other questions and you missed chatting to us, if you go on social media, we're at EM Publishing RPG, so you can send us a message there or on Kickstarter or wherever. I'll probably reply to it, or Russ or Zin or somebody. But yeah, thanks very much for coming along. I think I'll stop waffling now and we can go and enjoy our evening.
Yeah, I am in fact about to start
what are you doing?
running to Save a Kingdom. My Thursday night game is to Save a Kingdom. We've been playing it for some months now.
Nice.
And working our way through to Save a Kingdom since I think like October or November last year, I think, actually. And yeah, off to carry on with that now.
Excellent. So are they just sat waiting for you now?
Yes. Yeah. Normally we start at 8. And I had to email them and say, sorry, we're starting at 9 today because
I'm talking about our campaign.
Just wanted me to come on a live stream and talk.
Well, last month it was just me doing the monthly update, and I think everyone is.
Did you feel lonely?
I didn't. I felt frantic and anxious because it was just me talking. I could hear my own voice, and I think that came across. So the lovely people in chat were talking to me, but it was just me talking to myself. But anyway, I survived. But okay, thank you very much, and we'll speak to you next month. Bye.
Bye-bye.